Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be showing you how I remade Suge by DaBaby. And so, yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Hopefully I can speak normally today. Maybe. Anyways, this beat was made by Jetson Made. It was produced by Jetson Made. So to start things off, we're going to get first into the melody, and we're going to get into all the drums after that. There's a lot of drums that went into this. Most of it's just like little things like perks and stuff like that, like the open hat and everything. But to start off, I'm going to be showing you the, melody. So right here, so here's the notes that this piano is going to be playing. By the way, I got this. Hold on a second. Here we go. I pulled out the Keyzone Classic once again for the Steinway piano. It's the same exact piano that I used for Bop, mainly because, Jetson Made used the same piano for Bop and Suge. So, I think I might as well use the same piano as well. So here's the notes that it's going to be playing. And by the way, I got most of this, not all of it, but most of this from the Genius video that was made, showing how he made the beat. That's where I got the melody from, and the 808s from. The hi-hats, I just kind of listened to it and just put it in there. So that's the melody. It's very simple. But all I did with the Keyzone Classic was I just turned the release down to like one notch up. So it's just very plucky, like the original song is. Now, Jetson Made, when he made this, he used Purity, I think, was what it was. That's what most people use when they recreate this. They just use Purity because that's what he used. But I don't have money for Purity, just like I don't have money for a lot of plugins that people use. But I make do with what I have. So next up, for the hi-hats, all I used was this hi-hat 6 out of the Source drum kit. I use this a lot, I get it, but it just goes with everything. Like, it's the hi-hat you want to use for almost all my tracks, because you can just do so many things with it and just get it to sound exactly like a song. So, anyways, here is the notes that it's going to be playing. It's basically just like the 8-step hi-hats. Now, in the Genius video, this little hi-hat there isn't in the song, but I added it in there anyways just because it sounded a little better, I guess. That's just how I remade it. So, here's what those hi-hats sound like. They're just playing these little accent notes down here. Now, what I've seen a lot of people do is they'll have the same little accent notes here, but they'll put them on like a different key. Like, I saw one person had these notes all the way down at C, and it sounds similar, but I just thought it sounded, a lot more like the song when you have it up here at E, because at E, that's what the original song is at, and then down here at D sharp is what these two are at, which some people were putting all these down at C, and then would put these down at C sharp. But I just left them as is on E, and these on D sharp. So that's what a lot of other people have been doing, but most people just use a hi-hat similar to that just sounds like that. There's so many different hi-hats you can use that'll sound like that. For the clap, it's pretty simple. I got this clap 1 from the Andromeda kit. It sounds almost exactly like the one that Jetson uses, which he doesn't put any effects on his claps. This one's just like a little bit pitched lower, like maybe like a 1 note lower, maybe. But it just plays like on the 4, the and of each bar. So that's the clap. So here's what we have so far with all of that. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. Here we go. So here's what we have so far. Why are they doing that? Okay. I'm very sorry. I am messing up right now. Here is what we have so far. In case you're wondering what I was doing wrong, I accidentally turned the gross beat channel off, which has some automation for the gross beat right here, because right here, it's going to go to half speed, just for like a little transition, because I saw a bunch of people doing that when they were remaking the song, so I thought, why not? And so at the very end of the song, I have some automation where it just kind of fades to nothing right there. So that's what we have so far with all of that. Sounds a lot like the song. The piano's not going to sound exactly like it. Sorry for the voice crack, but I think if you use like any kind of grand piano, or like what I'm using, the Steinway piano, I think any grand piano will work as long as you turn the release down and don't make the notes so long, so that way it's plucky. But that's pretty much all you need to do, is just get a good grand piano. I mean, you can even use, I wouldn't suggest doing this, but you could use FL keys, which, I mean, I wouldn't, because the grand piano there is just not very good for this. I mean, it sounds like the song, but it's just, there's so many better things you can use. So just don't use FL keys unless that's like your last resort. Next thing was this perk that plays every, like, I don't know, yeah, I put it randomly, but you get the point. So the perk, there's 2 different perks that I'm using. This first one is from the Recruit drum kit. It's a free kit from Simon Zervita over here. I have it somewhere. Recruit free drum kit. Just go to perks, and it's, forget which perk it is. I think it's this one, or this one. It's perk 2 out of the Recruit drum kit. So that's that perk, and then I got the perks out of the Genius video, because like a lot of people, like the way Jetson did it, and a lot of other people are doing it, is they used a rim shot to make this little effect here, but I don't have a really good rim shot, so I just used like this perk here. It kind of sounds like a tom or something. It sounds very close to the beat, but all you have to do to it is you want it to clearly be able to hear it. So I have to remember what I did with it. So what I added was this transient processor, and I just turned the attack up quite a bit, and then I just turned the gain up a little bit. So that's it for that perk there. Now the second perk that I used this other perk, this sound out of the Recruit drum kit. Sounds a little something like this. And then I just added, I don't think I added any effects to it. No, I didn't. Well, yes I did. I added a few effects to it. So I added this low filter. I didn't make any changes to it. I just threw it on just to make it sound a little more lo-fi, because that's how it sounds in the song. Then I added another transient processor to turn the attack down. So here's what those perks would sound like together. So all the perks that I got off the Genius video and everything, so that's that. Now for the 808s, there's 3 different patterns for the 808s, but the 808 that I did use was the Baby on Baby 808, which Baby on Baby, the 808 was made by Jetson Made, so I just decided, like, I was going to use an 808 made by Jetson Made to make it sound a little bit close to the song, and then you just add a Blood Overdrive, but turn the preamp all the way down, then add Fruity Compressor, and go to the blower preset, and then just turn the gain down, then add an EQ and pitch in the mids a little bit, and you kind of want it to have this slope right here, so that way the high mid area is a little bit higher than the low mid. And then just keep the sub and the bass area, like the low area, the same, and then take that treble and pitch it down some. So that way you can get the 808s to sound a little bit more like the song. So here's the notes that the first pattern is going to play. So that's the first pattern of 808s. Now here's the second pattern, which is kind of like that iconic pattern from the song. Plays these notes. So that's the second pattern for the 808s. Then there's a third pattern that Jetson threw in there. He only threw it in there like I think I threw it in there twice, where you can hear it fully. And the way I decided I was going to do it is when I'm arranging it, the first one, it was going to hit that third 808 pattern and then transition out of it. And then it was going to start coming into this gross beat here, and then transition into the third 808. So whenever you hear the third 808, you know there's either gonna be a transition or there's been a transition. So that's just the way I did it. And then at the very end here, there's the third 808. But that third 808 is gonna be playing these notes. So that's it for the 808s. They're pretty simple. Just, you have to have 3 different patterns, because that's what Jetson said is kind of his signature, is he likes to switch up his 808s in his songs. So now what I'm going to do is show you the open hats, which I used this, I forget which open hat I used. I think I used this one. From the Andromeda kit from Kyle Beats, I used this open hat 3. It just sounded the most like what Jetson used. So, and all those open hats are playing is just the and of the 2 bar. So it'll look something like this. It's just that. Now for the shaker I wanted to use something that sounded very similar to what Jetson used. So I used this Perk 9 out of the Source Drum kit. This is what it originally sounds like, but I wanted to turn the volume down quite a lot because that's what Jetson did in his song. Then I just tweaked the pan to the right a little bit, so it sounds something like that. And here's the notes that it's going to be playing. So that's pretty much it, and then all I did is just like add the master volume for the fade there, and then add the gross beat for this part right here. So thanks you guys for watching, and yeah, let's enjoy the beat. Hold on 1 second. There we go. Now, also, forgot to mention, you want your beat to be at 151 BPM. That's what Jetson had his at. There was also one perk that I did not add to this, which was, it was kind of like a bell perk that he used. Sounded kind of like you were hitting a wine glass or something. But I just left that out because I couldn't find anything like it. So that's the only perk I left out, and even then, he gave it a filter and turned the volume down a lot, so you can just barely hear it. And a lot of people can't really pick that perk out, so I just left it out. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Enjoy the beat. So that's it, guys. Thank you for watching so much. Please consider subscribing, hit the like button down below, and maybe one day I'll have a few subscribers. So thanks everyone for watching, and this full beat will be on my SoundCloud in case you want to listen to it again. I'm pretty sure I put everything in this time, so I won't have to make a separate video on anything else. This beat was a little more complex than what I've done, so thank you guys for watching anyways, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.